In 2024, I decided that my life wasn't worth living anymore. I was lying in a prison cell surrounded by concrete walls, and I made the choice to end it all. Picture that moment when someone gives up so completely that they believe that death is their only escape. They airlifted me to Omaha, put me on life support. The doctors, they gave me a 1% chance to survive. 1%. They said I should be brain dead, in a wheelchair for life, a vegetable. But I'm standing here today, and I want to tell you how I got to that moment. How our system failed me so completely that death felt like mercy. And why your decision about our prison system could save someone else from reaching that same breaking point. Because someone else is lying in a cell tonight, having that same conversation with themselves. I grew up in what looked like a middle-class home. My mother abandoned me when I was 3. Her leaving broke my father, and he began to drink to numb the pain, which eventually led to abuse. I endured that abuse until I was roughly 16 when my own father, he shot me. After I tracked down my mother, she took me in. For 6 months, I thought maybe, just maybe, things would be different. Instead, she stole everything I owned and then kicked me out. My grandfather took me in long enough to get my GED, but then I was homeless. 16 years old, about to turn 17, and I carried so much anger that it was eating me alive. I drank, I used drugs, I made choices that in 2015 led to a conviction of 50 years for first-degree manslaughter. For years in prison, I went through the motions. Same routine, day in, day out. I participated in the programming South Dakota Department of Corrections offers. I worked. I went to therapy once a month. But I was just talking the talk. I never truly worked on my traumas, my mental health. The wounds, those wounds, they ate away at me until there was nothing left. And in 2024, I gave up. I decided to end my life. That decision led me to the brink of death. But something else happened in that darkness. I lived. God gave me a second chance. I promised I would heal my traumas, but I had no idea how. And then months later, an opportunity came to take Leaders of Tomorrow and author of my life. It was the greatest decision I've made since I've been incarcerated. Not only did I work on my traumas by learning about adverse childhood experiences, but the facilitators, Tammy and Vonnie and Manny, they gave me the tools to heal myself. But here's what they taught that changed everything. We all have a choice to either start or stop. We can stop living because of what we went through and let that define us, or we can choose to go beyond it. We can show that we are greater than our worst mistakes. I choose to start. Now, about this prison debate. It doesn't matter where you put the building. The problems we face will follow wherever that prison goes. Instead, we need to start focusing on rehabilitation. I know people don't want to hear it, but we need prison reform. We need to invest in the people that are behind those walls. Because if we don't, as soon as that new prison is built, we'll need to build another one, and another one after that. We cannot keep sending broken, angry people back into our communities. We need more programs like Leaders of Tomorrow and Author of My Life, because remember something, the people in that prison, they're someone's child, someone's parent. They're South Dakotans. I was supposed to die in that cell, but programs like Leaders of Tomorrow and Author of My Life, They didn't just save my life, they gave me back my humanity. There are others right now, sitting in cells, carrying the same traumas I carried, the same anger, the same hopelessness. We can build all the new prisons we want, but if we don't invest in healing, if we don't give people the tools to transform, then we're just warehousing human beings until they give up completely. I'm not asking you to forget what I did. I'm asking you to see what I became when someone believed that I was worth saving. The difference between life and death in prison isn't just medical care. It's hope. And hope starts with programs that work. Thank you. South Dakota has a once-in-a-generation opportunity, not just to build new structures, but to build new systems of support, of belief, and of human dignity. We say we want to be best in class. Well, this is where it starts. Not with concrete and policy alone, but by investing in people who have never been truly seen. This is why every year we bring the Men's Summit into the prison so that inmates who cannot come to us, we can go to them. Because here's the deal. If we're going to lead, we need to do it with courage, with commitment, and with compassion that shows up. Let's lead boldly. Let's lead boldly together. Because together we can rewrite what's possible.